Now, what do you remember about your school trips? I mean, for me and many other kids who grew up in Liverpool and Merseyside, it was Colomendy, and those visits definitely left an impression on me and many other people too. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It felt as though you were travelling to the other side of the world. It was only 40 minutes away. Well, hundreds of other Liverpool kids were treated to the delights of North Wales. Pupils from Shorefields in the Dingle, they went one better. They trekked across the Sahara. Now, the last trip was almost 20 years ago, and the school has been renamed University Academy now, but the new head would like to restart them and continue the legacy of former teacher Al Kennedy. Now, the trip features on tonight's edition of Inside Out Northwest BBC One. We're going to hear from one of the former pupils who went on the trip in a moment, but let's listen to just a little taster of tonight's report.
Everywhere we look in our towns and cities, there are hidden heroes, people who inspire others to reach up further than they can imagine, people who give others the chance to dream.
Al taught me to see the world through different eyes, that travelling is possible no matter where you come from, that you can make friends with anybody.
This is Al Kennedy, a retired humanities teacher from the Wirral. Over the space of 25 years, he took hundreds of children to the Sahara for a 10-week adventure, and most of his pupils have never forgotten what he did for them.
I really hope he realises how much he's touched children's lives and how much positive impact he's had on all of these kids, over the years.
I got the belief that I could go and do and achieve whatever I wanted, really.
In 1970, Al was showing a class at Shorefields School in Liverpool his slides from a trip to Africa, when one of the boys pointed out that what they were seeing was something they would never experience.
One of the youngsters blurted out, "All right for yous. Yous lot went to college and all that. There's nothing down for us, is there?" And I thought, he's right.
Al decided to do something about it. He started planning a trip to the Sahara for the pupils, and the school got on board. Using old army trucks, the first expeditions were realised, and they continued until 1995, allowing over 300 children the chance to travel across Africa and see the desert.
I remember initially being horrified when I first got there, just because it was such a culture shock and I wasn't really mentally prepared for it, I don't think. And then gradually sort of settling into it, and by the time we got home, being really sad to be back in my little bedroom on my own without all my friends around me and not sleeping under the stars anymore.
They're great, aren't they? Wonderful stories there. Well, joining me now is former Shorefields pupil, the actor and singer Leon Lopez. Hi, Leon, good morning.
Hello, mate. You okay?
Yeah, good, thanks. I've seen this film. It goes out tonight, and I was amazed at what was going on there. You had kids sitting on top of these old army trucks with no tops on and just the shorts on, and I'm thinking, health and safety nightmare, but it was a totally different time. And one of the comments made, Leon, was, it made me look at the world with different eyes.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's different when you go from kind of inner city Liverpool to somewhere like that, especially... I was from Toxteth, and we had a really strong community there, but you go somewhere like Morocco or the Sahara in Morocco where we went to, and you've got all these kids who have literally got nothing. I mean, we thought we had nothing from where we come from, but you've got kids who have literally walking through streets with no shoes on, and we had I remember one time we were hanging out the back of a truck and we were throwing sweets to some of the kids, and literally they'd be fighting each other just to get penny sweets, you know what I mean? And you think, you know what, it's actually, we're not as bad off as we thought where we were, and it just kind of opened your eyes a little bit more, and then not even just people but the surroundings and being out, no lights anywhere, but literally looking up and just being lit by stars and the moon every night, and it was life-changing.
You were on the last trip in 1995, I think, weren't you? That was the last time that you went. Are you featured in the film tonight? Is that your little face that I saw on that?
I don't even know, because I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I did an interview for it, so I don't know if I'm in it.
I think it might be you, mate. I think it was a little cheeky. You just look at the cheeky face.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely you then. I mean, most of us as kids growing up in Liverpool, we'd be taken to North Wales or Colomendy or the Blue John Caves or Fountains Abbey for the day or Llandudno or something like that.
Yeah.
But you went all the way to Africa. What you know, when you went home with the letter and you said to your parents, we're off to the Sahara. What was the reaction?
Well, it was a bit of a legacy from our school, and my older brother went to Shorefields as well. I mean, he never went on the trip. He was a bit more of a mummy's boy than me. He'd kill me for saying that. But my mum, because growing up, my granddad was quite ill, so we couldn't always go on family holidays and stuff. So whenever there was an opportunity, if my mum could, she'd allow me to go away with the school. And Shorefields was quite good because there'd always be a different trip. And the Sahara trip was kind of outside the school grounds, but it was still moderated by the school. So, yeah, I mean, I can't remember. I think it was a bit crazy because I never thought it would be anything that I'd enjoy or I'd want to do, but I think it was just hearing everybody else talk about it and the experiences that they had. And I thought, you know what, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And Al Kennedy always used to say, it's what you never have this chance again kind of thing. And, I don't know, I thought it was a challenge.
It's funny, isn't it, as you go through life, that there's always people that come into your life that you remember, and there's always the great teacher that you remember who did life-changing things for you. Was that the kind of man Al Kennedy was?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think Shorefields, especially at the time when I was there, I was very lucky. There's lots of teachers who I remember who inspired me. But the thing with Al, because of the whole Sahara thing, even though still, you always have the edge to call him sir, there's a different category. He was outside of the realms of being a teacher because he always treated you like an adult, even when you were a kid, you know what I mean? So even when you're in his classes and stuff like that, it was never a case of you're a student and you're a child. It's like, if you want respect, you have to give respect kind of thing. And he was always the teacher that you weren't afraid of, but, I don't know, it's kind of like the strict uncle who they'd always call in.
Yeah. It wasn't all plain sailing, as people will see on the film tonight, without spoiling it for people, but it wasn't all plain sailing. Visas will be refused, trucks broke down, roads collapsed as well. But you'll have to come up with solutions to the problems to get through this, because this was a real situation you found yourselves in, but you got yourselves out of it. That's real character building stuff.
Well, I think that's life, isn't it? Life isn't pre-planned, as much as people think there is. There's always going to be twists and turns. And I think as you get to one place, and they'd always keep you informed, like I'll keep you informed, this has happened, that's happened. Like we had our visa denied from one of the places we were meant to go into, but then we just make alternatives, and I think we ended up just going down through to Layoun, which is like one of the longest beaches in the world, and we still got the whole Sahara experience, but we didn't get to cross through to as many countries as we wanted. But it was a case of, well, we can't go this way, so let's go that way. And it was an expedition. It wasn't about trekking out land that they'd done it for like 20 years, but it wasn't about kind of going, we're going on the same route. It was literally like, well, what is available to us, and let's map it out. And being in big, massive ex-army trucks, we had the facility to be able to go, well, let's go up this mountain and see how we go. But then you might turn a corner and there might be no road, so we're out to the truck building roads, out to the pebbles and the stones, and you've got no choice. I think I was like 15, because I had my 16th birthday when I was there. I was one of the youngest to have gone there, and it's literally nowhere to lie. The road would fall underneath the truck, and you'd have to jump out of the van, and you'd have to build the road back up to be able to kind of press back on. And at first it was a bit daunting, but then as you went on, it was just literally like, get out the truck, let's do it, move on. And it just become part of like the standard day-to-day thing.
All right. Leon, well, you survived, and thanks for talking to us today. Have a look at the film as well. If you can't see it tonight, it'll be on the iPlayer, but it's a cracker, and I'm sure you're on it, mate. You take care, Leon. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you. There's Leon Lopez there, just one of the... Well, he had his 16th birthday when he was there back in '95, and the new headmaster at Shorefields wants to restart the trips and continue Al's legacy as well. But have a look, BBC One, from Dingle to the desert tonight on BBC One, 7:30, Inside Out Northwest. It's a cracking film. You'll be watching it like that. Oh, the kids are on top of the trucks. They're on top of the trucks. But it's a cracking little film as well. As I say, if you miss it, you can always catch you up on the iPlayer. 8:17.